Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Breakfast with Beverly. Of course, before we get started, I need to say my grace. Heavenly Father, thank you for this food I'm about to receive, for I'm so very grateful and so very blessed. May this food nourish my mind, my body, and my spirit. All right, so what are you guys having for breakfast this morning? I've got my trusted cereal and my cup of coffee. I wanted to share with you guys that I really love mugs, and this mug was a Christmas gift from a very special friend. Thank you, Kat. I love my mug, and yes, I do use it. All right, so we're not going to do the news today. I'm kind of sick of watching the news, actually. Need to take a little break from that. But I had a good conversation with my mom last night. And we were talking about how important it is for you to feel good about yourself when other people do their best to make you feel horrible. You know, they call you names, or they may talk about, you know, different flaws in your character. You know, fat, lazy, no good, bad mother. It could be anything. It could be in a personal relationship or work relationship, or, you know, basically any kind of relationship that you have with another person, and they just go out of their way to critique and condemn you for a lot of times just small things. And we were talking about how sometimes there are people in our lives that we consider friends, but they're not really friends at all. At least they don't know how to be a friend in our mind, and how difficult and how challenging it is, because in a lot of ways that person is or has some good things about them that you're able to take away from the relationship. And I'll give you an example. So suppose you had a friend who, you know, you spend time with them and they're a lot of fun, and, you know, you have some things in common. And so you kind of meet there. You kind of meet, you know, with those things that you have in common. But then let's suppose that friend, every time you tell them something, they second guess it. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, you don't have a college degree. You know, you can't tell me. I know. And that person doesn't realize what they're doing to you or to that relationship. And sometimes it may be, you know, hurtful, may hurt your feelings, or, you know, if the things are true. And let's suppose you don't have a college degree. And so when that person says that, it really hurts your feelings, because it makes you second guess whether or not you really know what you're talking about. And so, you know, it starts to influence the way you see yourself. And we were talking about how important it is for you to just be your biggest supporter. And one of the things that I think came out for me was that sometimes, well, not sometimes, a lot of the times, there's a lesson in that for you. Because I'm a huge believer that God will send someone into your life who is meant to help you move to the next level. And sometimes that person is not good for you and they're just plain horrible to you. But it's something that's really needed in order for you to grow. And so in some way there should be an appreciation for the negative people we have in our lives, and in turn some of the negative things that they may say to us. But the important thing is to learn what it is that you need to learn from them and move on. And if that person is truly meant to be in your life, then they will grow with you. They will learn to support you and not put you down. They will learn to appreciate you, and they will, in the end, compliment you. And that's a very difficult thing. So it's always been a challenge. I've had to deal with that in a lot of my personal relationship, both with my friends and also with my partners. And I'm telling you, it's really a tough lesson. And so that's why I think it's really important for you to be your biggest supporter. You gotta love yourself. And I think it's really important that you don't lose sight that there is a lesson in this for you. And it's hard. I mean, it's definitely something that's very challenging and something that's very difficult to deal with, to identify with, to learn from, and to grow. Some people are really good about just cutting people off. You know, if you don't fit into my life, you know, if you are too negative, if you are too, if you are overly critical, then, you know, some people are really good with pushing those people out. But I think it's important to look at the situation and really try to understand if this person is in your life because they're meant to help you grow. And as confident as one person can be, I think that from time to time you still need people to check you. I do. I have people that tell me all the time, you know, you don't know everything, you know, or you think you know everything, but you don't know everything. I've had people to tell me, you know, just because you have a college degree doesn't make you an expert. And in a lot of ways, that's true. You know, I don't know everything. I have a college degree, but I'm not an expert in anything. I mean, in everything, excuse me. But the difference between me, well, let me not toot my own horn. I would just say I recognize that I'm still learning and I'm still growing. And so a lot of times I'm making the efforts to learn and to grow. So I may not know everything, but I do try to know a little bit about everything. And I will check myself. I will go back and think about some of the things that people have said to me or things that people have pointed out to me about my character, and I will try to find ways to improve those things. But that's just me. And that is something that I've learned to do over time. So that brings me to the quote of the day. Be your biggest supporter by realizing that there is a lesson in everything and it's meant for your good. Well, that's my 10 minutes. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.
Anywhere you go.